Hello, hello, party people. What is going on? It's been a little while. Well, really just a week. Last week we were doing Reality SMP. But we're back at it again, and this week we're going to be doing some more Shapez2. It's actually been about 2 months, 55 days according to the game, since I loaded up this save. So I'm going to need some time to get our bearings, but for those of y'all unfamiliar or who haven't played the game before, this game is all about building a factory meant and designed to produce and modify shapes. Hey 12 Cubed, welcome in! Good to see you in there. But yeah, the whole goal is to modify and mine and manufacture shapes of all different sizes, styles, and colors. Man, this game is loud. I'm turning it down on my side. I hope everybody had a good week. For those of you who had the chance to get some time off this week, I hope you enjoyed it. Around these parts, we got our first snowfall that's stuck, so yay! We got over half a foot in the last day. For those of you who do not measure in freedom units, that's over 12... Oh. That's over 15 centimeters. Lots of snow. Lots of snow. Alright, so these are the trains. Let me get my bearings here. Got trains shipping stuff from down here, and I'm assuming it's for the half rounded corner, half circles. Or... couldn't tell. I'm assuming it's these. And that's why they just stop here for now, as we didn't finish that. Okay. Stage 7 prep. This is the stuff that's going into milestone 7 here. This is why we leave the markers for future vins. I wish I left more. I think I cleaned them all up because they were useless. But... So how's your week been, 12 Cubed? What you been up to? Why is this one not moving? It's been at 463 for a while. I see. I see. Okay. No wonder it hasn't moved. That's not what I want to do, actually. I need to remember my darn controls. I've been playing other factory games with my off time, so now I'm all messed up. That's not the right set of buttons. Okay, hold on a second here. Try this. Quick solution. Should actually be able to break this up more efficiently then. This, and then complete that. Will give us 2 paths. We'll just liberate it straight through there for now. Can't believe past me missed that, but hey, everybody makes mistakes. And at least it was an easy fix. Let's this now too, because there's no reason for it to be like that. There we go. Need to remember my binds for getting out of these. Cool. Hey! And now we got even more difficult ones to make. Yay! Now I get the joy of trying to remember where they're produced to. Oh, they're produced over here. Okay. We got green here. And we've got this here. Should be pretty simple to reorient this, actually. Oh, I'm deleting materials that I really shouldn't be. Oops. Okay. So the idea here being we take the design as it already exists and we'll just do another set of stacking on it. Now I just need to grab this. That's going to create problems though. I'll have to deal with it. This should do the same thing, but give me a little bit more space to work with in this region. Don't even know what these are for. Oh no, they're going somewhere else, so they are still useful. Okay. Are they completely dead-ended? Are they useless? Let me clean this up so that it can be split. We're going to reduce the efficacy of that machine because it doesn't need to be that efficient anyways. We'll free up the necessary space. That. Because I moved it, it's taking a second for it to charge back up again. That's good though, that'll give me a chance to put in one more foundation here because there's one more detail we got to do if we want this to work right. We got to spin it. Gotta spin it 90 degrees. Do I have a blueprint for that already? I thought I had a blueprint. What we'll do is we'll take this slice and turn design and we'll just eliminate the slice aspect. There we go. Because whether it rotates them clockwise or counterclockwise, it'll be the same shape because this thing has 180 degree symmetry. So it's just a function of getting them all spun. Doesn't matter which direction they spin. As long as they don't spin 180 degrees. If they spin 180 degrees, then they'll just look as if they were the same as when they started. It won't be useful. But everything short of that, easy. Boom. And then that will create the new discs. Now I just have to connect this to the green paint line, which might be a bit of a hassle now that I'm looking at it. Planning my route before I even start. Alright, it's an inefficient one, but I've got a route. You, that's right, okay. 1. That's the best choice. This is a shorter distance, but there's not really anywhere I can cut through because of that and the blue one right next to it. So we work with what we got. Alright. This one's done. Nice. That's the mushroom design. Where's the mushroom design being manufactured? Here. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to change this out for a painting block. Hey, how's it going, Haps? Everybody welcome the Meme Man. The Meme Man is great. Alright, we're gonna cut that and place that there, and then we need to find some red. Where's the closest red coloring? There. Okay. There's that. And then we'll just use space belts to get all the way there. Very temporary solution, but hey, it'll work. Because then we'll paint the caps, and then that will make this better mushroom. And then we're already getting these in too. Nice. Okay. We're going to wait for this one to finish up, and then we'll do the actual Milestone 7 goal, which is merging them both together. We'll leave in a stacker. You just connect them all with a stacker. Thing is jammed. Why is it jammed? There's assumedly 2,000 of them on this belt if this whole thing is jammed up with them. So I'm actually going to cut it now. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'll figure it out. But we'll just let that drain for now because of just the sheer number of... Look at that. It's just a full belt all the way back. All the way back. Each of these blocks contains what? 50? Probably more. There's more than 12 rows. Okay. Anywho's. So this one's at the first level and this one's on the second level, right? Yeah, okay. So I should just be able to make a blueprint that merges both of these together nice and cleanly. Can I still call you 12 cubed? I mean, that's okay. Can I still call you 12 cubed, though? That's the important... Okay, that's the important part to me, fam. As long as your nickname still works for you, you do what you have to do, or what you want to do. Hopefully it's both, but life happens sometimes. Sometimes we don't get that level of control. Alright. Now we've got the bottom section set up. We've dedicated 8 stackers to each of these, which I think will be enough to start with at least. Each of these rows getting 8 of their own stackers should be enough, I'd hope. Beautiful. They're already exactly as they need to be. Then all I need to do is take... There we go. Alright. And then I just run this space belt like that. Cool, and I was right. There was enough spare on the belt. The belt still has garbage on it. It'll all get sent into the hole and just get deleted, but it's funny. Yeah, alright. Cool. I'm happy I started when I did then. So now we should start making those quest items there. Yep. Yep. Cool. We might need to go even faster. We might need even more production. Wouldn't that be something? But this is already pretty quick. Oh, they're sending to the same rows. That's going to create a jam. I was trying to do this, so that all 4 of the rows would be equally filled. Should avoid them colliding with each other and jamming. So they can just send at top speed. Okay, you know what? I'm going to change this up even more because I see it just backing up out of the machines, and that's just inefficient. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. So we're going to fix it by increasing the complexity of the system. Yay! So this will all... I can feel the pain in that statement. Yay! He's so excited. I also just realized I counted wrong because this is not 8 here. I thought it was an odd number. Whatevs. There we go. Wait, no. Still didn't do that right. Ah! There we go. Now this should keep the machines all running at full tilt because they'll have a blank belt ahead of them so they never stall out and stop. That was my concern, was that they'd stall out because they don't have anywhere to deposit their final product. But now we're moving them all fast enough that none of the belts ahead of them are jammed. What's even more interesting to me is the asymmetrical nature in which this stuff's being delivered. These two are absolutely packed, and these two are empty. But you know what? It's fine. As long as it keeps on delivering its specific thing into the core, I'm happy. And slowly but surely these will go away. Yep, there's our second line there. I was going to say our second line should be catching up shortly. What'll be even funnier is when this one stops going, because this one's going to be full of them too. Both of those lengths have... Here. Where is it? There it is. This length has some mixed in with it already, I think. Where? There were way too many of these things on the belt. They got all jammed up. There they are, see? You just got a big collection of them ending up at the end of this conveyor here. Alright, let's look at what we got for our next milestones. And tasks. So these will be great. They're going to be a huge boon on the research points. That's just a circle that's been pinned. Make a green circle that's been pinned, and then we make a green circle that's been double pinned, and then we make a green circle that's been triple pinned. Oh no. So difficult. Building a minion? Well, at least it's not yellow. Escape and run? And which world? Are we talking about like Minecraft? Well, if the mission was to make a minion and it was yellow, it would be the Despicable Me minion. And I would have to politely refuse to do that mission. On principle. Yeah, I assumed as much, but you never know, 12 Cube. Maybe somebody modified that mod for another game. Yeah, I'm familiar. The YouTubers that I play a lot with, you know, the other people that you see in my videos, they regularly talk about projects with me, and obviously since Halloween just passed, there was a bunch of talk about spooky games. The one that the group kind of went with this year looked like Phasmophobia for the most part, but we try to do something always extra spooky during that time of year. What was kind of whack to me was that Zoocosis, the game that I chose last year for spooky gaming, it came out with an update, but it did it on like the 8th of November. Right after spooky season ended and everybody would have been done making spooky videos and everything and enjoying the, you know, the scary aspect of gaming. They're like, hey guys, here, we just added a bunch of new animals. What? The timing didn't seem very primo to me, but what do I know? Maybe their audience is bigger in November. What I do know, though, is that I would have done a video on it had it been 3 weeks earlier. I would have definitely made a video on Zoocosis to check in on it after a year, and I probably will still do one later on. I'm off spooky things for a little while now. We're doing chill stuff. Back to our regularly scheduled Gmod and Minecraft, and got a couple of other things. If you guys didn't catch the Snail Sim video that came out 2 days ago, the work of art. I'm lying. That game was so funny, though. Definitely not a game that everybody would enjoy, but it gave me early 2000s vibes with just the 3D design. And with the smallness of the map, the fact that everything was like compressed together and they were using some of the old map making skills to try and hide things. So, not gonna lie, the only reason why we maintain sanity. The first, like, 30 minutes of that recording were just us going to the crown. It took us forever. And what you didn't see happen on screen was whenever one of us disconnected, they went back to spawn. When they logged back in, they would spawn back in and spawn at the start of the crawl again. And we figured out pretty quickly that you could teleport between the landmarks. When you went to, like, the pot or the bunny ears or the crown, you would get that item in your inventory. If you wore it and then pressed a keybind, it would teleport you back to that spot. So you could use them as checkpoints. And we would just have to go back to the latest checkpoint and meet them there. Over and over again. So when we figured out the flight thing, that was groundbreaking to us because it made it possible for us to move around the map in a reasonable time frame. And it gave us angles and clips that were better than, oh, here's us snail crawling. Here's us snail crawling again. Here's us snail crawling through grass, which is the same, but harder to see. Here's us snail crawling up a thing. Here's us snail crawling down it. That wouldn't have been very interesting. So I am so grateful that 90 tried that out on the non-flat surface. Because I'm not going to lie, I thought the game would have been janky enough it would have sent you straight up anyways. There are many games I have played that would have been janky enough that they would have sent you straight up into the air anyways, even if you're on an uneven surface. But that game gave us momentum, and that momentum was workable. So we capitalized on it, and that got us far. That got us far. We saw most of the map. There's more content to be had there, though. So if you guys like that video, there's still enough in the bank right now for another one to come out, and then I can always go make more. What I didn't realize is that game's only 2 years old. It's from 2023. Alright, tangents aside, is it side questing time? I think it's side questing time. Good luck. Good luck, buddy. Seems like you're gonna need it. Oof. Yeah, you're definitely gonna need all the luck then, buddy boy. Okay, there we go. And then 8-miner booster, cool. Okay, so now we're just going to set up 2 things for the time being. We're gonna set up that. We're gonna set up a space belt that goes no. Set up a space belt that goes that way, under, up, and over, like that. So what we're doing is, for now, we're just going to pin everything. But then we'll just add more pinning machines to this. And then we'll add the painting machine right after the fact. I should have a blueprint for this, shouldn't I? I'll go find it, because I'm not dealing with this. That's paint. That's pin. I gotta actually copy it when I do this type of command. Cool. I gotta stay zoomed in while we move all the way across the screen. There we go. And then we just delete one of these. For now. Eventually, we'll need more pins, and that's kind of why I wanted that machine specifically, but... Or this design specifically, but... This works more than well enough for our current goals. Sorry if I do seem a little bit out of it, y'all. I am weird on my sleep because I am prepping for an event on the morrow. I gotta get all spiffy and suit and tie and everything. Pulled my suit out yesterday for it. It'll be a good time though. I'm looking forward to it. Just got my sleep a little bit whacked. There we go. Now we got the pinned circles going in. This is... I'm just looking out a little bit macro perspective now. It's only been 9 hours of game time. 9.5 hours of game time, and we have gotten to craziness. A wedding. Somebody's getting married. So it's a positive thing. It's not like I'm showing up to anything, you know, unhappy or sad or somber or anything. It's just... I am a very night-oriented person. The best time for me to do a lot of my work and a lot of the stuff that I do is during the nighttime. Because it's primo time to be left alone, no phone calls, no nothing. So when I have events during the daytime, I gotta shift my sleep. Or do the riskier option, which I do not condone nor support and nobody should ever do, of just skipping sleep. It's a bad plan. Whatever you're trying to do, it's better when you've slept. I learned that many a time the hard way. It's always better if you've slept. You'll enjoy life more if you've slept. Why is this one not... These three have the icon on them, but this one is the same block and it doesn't. Sleep is good, Haps. Sleep is necessary. I'm gonna be honest here, though, and say that ever since I was a small child, I've always wished I could bypass it some way. Just imagine what I could do if I had 8 more hours every day to work. Yes, that is what I think about. Imagine if I had 8 more hours to do things. That one's going up real quick. It's because the pinning machine is so freaking fast. And this is designed and optimized to keep all 4 of the belts completely full. But still, jeez. It goes quick. This is gonna have to be shifted again. There we go. I'm prepping because this is gonna be done really quickly and then we're gonna have to paint this. Oh, I could have done this better. What am I thinking? Well, what I was thinking was that I have to paint the circles red for some reason. There we go. That'll do great. Because then we'll just copy this design right up into this slot right here. And then we move the green down, and we got ourselves the green circles with the pins in it. And then we need green circle double pin. But that'll be really easy as demonstrated, because we just add a machine right where we deleted one on these sides. Boom, done. Why is this... Oh, I'm asking why is this still jammed up? Of course it's still jammed up because it's only 2 belts. And we're feeding 4. Fine. Changing the approach yet again. There, that'll at least clear the line. I don't want extra of that material on the line just because that's unnecessary slowness. And eventually it'll jam back here. Eventually this will flow all the way back that it starts halting the machines. And if the machines halt, we've got problems. Ooh, we've ended up with a limiting factor though. We've got a lim fac. This bad boy is bottlenecking. Why is it bottlenecking? I see why. Okay. I can fix this easily, actually. What we're going to do is we're going to slice the needs in half. We're going to run it to the other side. That. That's not gonna help, actually. But I just noticed it's not gonna... I got a plan. I got a plan. It'll be fine. Is it the most efficient plan? No. Will it work? Yes. We can always re-optimize later if I really don't like it. So I just gotta change the row these things are in, so... Boom. It's done. So now the inner side will go to one, and the outer side will go to another. And this should pretty much double the production speed of the blue half of this component. Come on, buddy. Zoomy zooms. I want you done before stream's over today, and that means you need to go a lot faster. I need you to be at 15K in the next hour. So your production speed needs to go up. It needs to go zoom, please. Thank you. And just by optimizing this a little bit, I think we can make it go faster. Redistributing the resources a bit. Definitely looks faster to me. Now the real test is whether... Yeah, see, this is where the unevenness was coming from. Okay, okay. Now they're all moving evenly. We should be producing faster. Let's check our numbers now. Statistics. It'll take 60 minutes. We'll have this done in about 60 minutes. Beautiful. Time to make the green circles. Just like I projected. Wow. Done. That was so little effort. That was a comical amount of effort. I am excited for the mushroom phase to be over, though, and this all goes away. I think it'll also speed up... Where is it? How is this number lower than this number, but this one's a higher level? Weird. I'll accept it, but it's weird. You know what game I picked up recently that's reminiscent of this, but that's only because it's a factory game too. Very different on the logistics side and very different on the management side is Dyson Sphere Program. I've been having a lot of fun with that on my solo time. I try to keep a game outside of my video rotation at all times, whether it's Oxygen Not Included or RimWorld or something. I keep something outside of the rotation for at least a good 6 months. Just so that I have something to play on my off time that I don't feel compelled to record on camera. You would all be amazed how frequently I record stuff on. Some of the projects I've been currently prepping are 40, 50 hours plus in. Like, I sat down and recorded 30, 40 hours of content, and now it's a matter of getting the script together and getting everything sorted. Because as many of you know who have been around the channel for a little while, I don't just do compilation videos or short gaming content stuff. I enjoy doing that stuff, and it's the bulk of my content because I post twice a week every week. But I work on long haul content too, and that's one of the things I really find passion in. One of the things I really enjoy. And that actually gives me a segue opportunity here. If any of you are not in my Discord, there is a vote on my Discord right now to anybody who has joined it about new channel content coming out in the coming year, as the channel's anniversary will be coming up next month. Well, not December, January, but we're one day away from December, so to me that's negligible. But yeah, right around the start of the year will be the second anniversary for the channel, so I'm cooking. We're cooking some stuff. Alright, what can we make next? You know, let's check the next milestone sets, the next tasks. You like all of them, Haps? Ooh. Well, I'm happy to hear that you and I are on the same train of thought. Same vein, you know? Good stuff. Okay, so this is just... We can do that. Why did I shy away from this one? I see no real reason for me to have shied away from that one, so interesting. I'm assuming that I brought these over because I planned to split them, paint the red side, and then re-merge them. That would make the most sense. But before I do any of that, oh, I can't do what I wanted to do because of where these pipes are positioned. Wait, can I fix them? Let me see if I can fix them. No. Just the pipes, please. There. Just trust me, chat. I got this. Alright, so I've changed the elevation on this for one reason. Oh no, I can't change the elevation! Oh, that's bad. Well, that's That's not good. Well, I'm gonna have to undo all that work I just did because I just found a mismerge that I can't fix. Damn me and being space efficient. And I thought that was gonna be so crafty. I thought that was gonna be the fix for everything. Nope. Alright. Alright. My designs are limited. I get it. We fix. And I'll just use the original fix. I was hoping I could get crafty with it where I could stack the uncolored and the blue version of these shapes right next to each other on the same line, because these lines have 3 different capacities, but I can't get everything that receives the diamond up onto the second layer. And without that, I'm not going to be able to accomplish it. So instead, we'll just run parallel line. Wasn't even that expensive, so whatever. Okay. Now we're gonna need a blue circle. And pin machine. Pin machine there. That. And that's one good to go. Works for me. And we need to find blue circle. Ah, there's blue there. I'll make that work. Considering how little this is moving, we're probably just going to reuse these circles. Is it efficient to paint and then repaint? No, but I don't have power concerns in this game either, so whatever. Alright, we're going to grab that. What? There we go. There we go. Yep, red circles to blue circles. And blue circles to blue circles with diamonds on top. So now we're working on 5 of these different missions. Why is that one not going? Just because we haven't delivered any yet? Yep, these are the first deliveries right here. Okay. Cool beans. That's what we like to call progress. Get as much of this research done as quickly as possible so we can get more train unlocks. I do appreciate the support, Haps. I thought all of those ideas would be something that I'd be willing to do and do in the long term. And they're all things that I would find to be different enough from the existing content that they would be worthwhile. I'm not gonna lie, I've thought about doing a second channel more than once, and I've pretty much, I think, realized that I'm probably gonna pivot before doing a second channel. Because I like y'all. Now that I've got this red and these diamonds, I should probably work on this one too, but I'm gonna be a bit lazy and hold off on it for now. Check our stats. Producing 200 of those a minute, 150 of those, 140, 150 of those, 100 of those a minute. 150 of each of these because they're just pinned, which makes sense. Way too many of these overcomplicated little things. I do like to see that my production is sped up each time, though. This one's way more consistent than this one, but... Oh, no. Why is that way, anyways? Why is it so consistent? Is it just well-tuned? I am excited to be able to stop pulling from this, though, because it looks like that's my current bottleneck because I'm pulling off from it. Make this stupid little mushrooms. But 10 more minutes of that, and we won't need it anymore. We'll finally be able to get rid of them and all of the components that are part of them. Wait, is there another circle painter somewhere? There's another circle painter. Oh my gosh. I could have been using this the whole time. But no. Said I built a duplicate one up here. It arguably goes faster. Funny. You know what, let's clean up after ourselves then. Get rid of this old one. Oh no, not that, please. Oh, no. I can delete on that layer, but I can't replace on that layer easily. Great, thank you, game. You're so good. Replace it with the more efficient variety. This will make it go faster so that we can get rid of it quicker. And it reduces the number of platforms being used to accomplish the task. So of course, that's more efficient. Alright, let's see here. Upgrades. Upgrades, people. Upgrades. So a bunch of these will be useful. Train speed is obviously always good, but a bunch of these would be very useful in general. We can also upgrade our vortex inputs. Oh yeah, that's right, under the milestones. Because we'll get color mixing, and then third platform, then crystals, then train delivery. Train delivery used to be something you could get from the upgrades tree, and it was super overpowered. Really overpowered. We should probably have these just because we're coming up on color mixing, and color mixing is going to require us to have a little bit more of a horde of the different color types. I'm going to take a quick water break here real quick. Everybody enjoy the portal. Look at it go zoom. Look at how much stuff is going into it. Woo-hoo-hoo! Of course the vortex is all-consuming. It knows all, it sees all, it is all. The vortex is everything. Alright. Alrighty then. Let's go. I'm not excited for these later shapes. Some of these shapes are confusing to me though. Like this? How is this supposed to be difficult? It has no color. Like, this is right next to this. And this isn't even remotely as difficult as... Some of these are so difficult, and some of these are so easy. This difficult-ish. It's just a slab. It doesn't even have any pins under it. What the heck? Like, this thing doesn't have pins, but it's got so many... It's got multiple colors that you have to mix going on, too. Right? It's a weird jump, too, because we were already past that point. Like, this is the first shape. Two different sets of colors that need to be stacked on top of each other. Then we get more complicated, and more complicated, and even more complicated. Then we get into even more advanced techniques with this dissimilar stuff, and the asymmetry, or the radial symmetry, or whatever you want to call it. And then we get to, this would be arguably the creme de la creme, top of the tree, hardest thing to do. And then boop! What the heck? Why is that there? Oh, okay. It's a randomized goal. It's a randomized goal. Okay, so that one was just lucky-ish, I guess. Maybe it's time to do some scouting. What do we need next for the next set of milestones? Color. That's the bigger limiting factor on the upcoming stuff, is color. We also do need a whole rounded shape. We need a full rounded corner somewhere. Gotta be one around here. I really wish there was a lookup function, because this is always a pain. Alright, chat, keep your eyes peeled. We're looking for this, but with no color. That shape, though. If you find one, keep in mind that this little number up here is unique to this box. So you can just shout out or put in chat the little number there, instead of saying there, because I never know where the delay is gonna hit. The most fun of this entire game, hunting for the shape you want. Obviously, it's the most enjoyable part of the whole experience. Oh, there's one. Oh, we already have this one from the production of the other stuff. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Chat, help me. What am I doing over here? Okay, that's that. And then this goes here. No. Where's their drop point then? Oh, right there. Okay. Tucked away, hidden from me. So we've already got the shapes we need. Then it's just a function of color, but we've already got the 3 basic colors, so creating any of the following colors isn't impossible. A little annoying, maybe, but not remotely impossible. Speaking of which, actually, I can utilize the existing infrastructure here and just change the color. This. I can just change the color on this and feed it straight into the core. Perfect timing, too. The mushrooms were about to be done being utilized. Then I just have to mix up some coloration. And we've already got all of the different dye colors flying around within 5 blocks of this tile. So it'll be very easy. This is going to be very, very simple to accomplish. Great. So that's the prep work figured out for that one. This one's going to be yellow. That's going to be green and red. And we got green and red up here already from the production of this stuff. So we can mix it right up here and then just ship it down. Super easy. So we've already got ourselves in a pretty decent position for the production of the next things. Producing this one's going to be a little bit more of a hassle because I think we're going to have to ship red. No, we're going to have to ship blue up there. Because white is produced by making 2 of the previous colors and mixing them together. I love that visual, though. It's so nice. Yeah, you make white by mixing any of the 3 colors together in any of the orders. What the heck? The color mode? So instead of feeding it... I don't understand what this is meant to be here. Like, because this makes sense, because these are all the primary colors being fed in here. But if you feed... That's not how color works. You're right! You're right! This bottom section makes no sense. This top section actually kind of does make sense. So your screen is composed of red, green, blue. Everything you're seeing right now on the screen for stream is red, green, blue, and it's just your eyes being tricked by a combination of those different light levels. White is all 3 of them maxed out. 255, 255, 255 in computer logic. This doesn't make any... That's why I just kind of stared at it black. I'm trying to, like, calculate it. Steam pouring out of my ears. What? That's not how any of that works. And I've never had to use any of these recipes before, so I'm just trying to, like, crunch why you would use them. And I'm not coming up with anything, so you know what? I give up. I don't know why anybody would use those recipes. I don't know how those recipes work, and I don't need to. Fortunately, it's not my problem. Nice and quickly, though, we zoom through all these goals. Everything done in a nice, logical line. Ignore these 2. Just ignore them. You know what? Are they even worth the effort? Let's look. Okay, the end ones are kind of worth the effort, but for now, meh. I'm just gonna call it meh on both of them. That's why I shipped that in. That makes sense. Did I leave enough space with this? Yes, I did. Because I'll repaint this and then inject them to make this go the next way. I gotta paint them red. Oh no, where am I gonna get the red dye for that? Wonderful, though. Five different sub-goals being accomplished at the same time. The primary goal is well on its way to completion. What the hell? Oh, I know what I did wrong. These need to be rotated. All of them. Made a mistake. That's also a mistake. We need 180 degrees because they're not actually symmetrical. There we go. Okay, that should fix that. Also, why is the fourth row not getting any? Because there's no fourth mining machine over here. So the whole thing... Okay, I can fix that. There. We'll just split it a bit and it'll be fine. Otherwise the machinery is not running at full tilt. Hopefully dokily. I'm trying to think of other things to do right now, but we've got ourselves in such a good position that we really just need to let the thing cook. We really just need to let her go. Yeah, so last week was Regality. This week we got Shapez. Anybody got any ideas on what I should put on the vote for next week? Any recommendations? Any stuff that hasn't been in rotation for a while, maybe, that you want to see again? I absolutely love seeing suggestions from y'all. Oh, that music just awkwardly stopped at a really bad time. I wish that number would change up there. Like, as your operator levels change, I wish it would go above 1 and you could actually see it go up. And I get that it would end up really squished after, like, level 100, but then maybe after that you just do a cool little symbol or something for how advanced the person is. I feel like you could fit double digits in there very easily. And at least then they wouldn't need to open this just to see what their level is at. You know, I thought I made this thing to be pretty fast, but it is not fast enough for me. Still the blue. I think it's just the speed at which we can merge stuff now. That's our limiting factor now. So I need to upgrade stacker speed. I need 50 for that, but you know what? It would be worth it. Stacking speed is my current bottleneck. So I'm going to save up everything for stacking speed. I mean, I could theoretically use the cutting machines to do those, the swappers, where you swap but they'd take up more space, and I'd only get how much of a difference? Okay, so long term it will be the moves, but for now the stacker's speed would be comparable to the swappers with one upgrade. Nice, though. Level 14. We'll get this before the end of the day, though, for sure. We're already very close. And the mushrooms are starting to go back up again. Good. And they're going up faster than they were previously. Finally! Now I just gotta compensate for the time lost. Alright, where's... I did that over here. It's time to upgrade for the next achievement on this one because there's definitely 50 on the belts. Definitely at least 50 on the belts. So it's time to add in the second pin pushing machines. Ta-da! And it's already converted over for the next one. Can we upgrade painting speed still? A little bit. We do need to upgrade the painting speed then. Upgrade painting speed and stacking speed are our current limiting factors. Because we rely on painting for almost everything, because I don't like the inconsistency of hunting down different shape colors from their source. Shape plus color, really hard to hunt. Just shape, just color makes it much, much easier, and then you merge them. But this is the downside to that. Everything linchpins on painting then. And if painting doesn't go zoom, nothing goes zoom. It'll be fine though. It'll be fine. We will persevere. We will improvise, we will adapt, and we will overcome. So the optimizations we got in place raised that by a good 10%. That's pretty great. Why is... Oh, this is so low because of this. It's this's fault. Damn mushrooms, taking all the blue diamond shapes. And I'm grateful that this is finally being removed from the system. Yep, there it goes. That was leftover from when there was still probably 1 or 2 left on the belts previously, and it finally purged out. Go away! How are you back? Be gone! All of these shapes are perfect now. Yep, everything here is clean. Alright. That one's already going up again. What's the next step for these? What am I going to have to prep up next? Mushrooms are nearly ready to be just eliminated, pretty much. The only thing left of them will be this line, because I'm going to replace this with turquoise. And then feed it into this to make our upcoming milestone. Yeah, I was right, though. Because of the painting machine's speed, we're getting bottlenecked at the painting machines. Which is totally fine. Don't mind that at all. But we don't need the 4th mining machine to make this all even then. We don't have the throughput necessary for it. Okay. Some of these die clusters are really close to each other, like this right here. That's nice. Or that. Oh, I just realized something. The audio better now? I've noticed sometimes YouTube likes it when I do something a little bit yeah. Yeah, thanks, Haps. Can't believe I didn't catch that earlier. Right before stream started, I was like, oh yeah, don't forget to tick that box. Never tick the box. If that ever happens, y'all can always feel free to let me know and say, hey Vince, your audio's fuzz, your audio's wrong. Because normally my mods are in here. However, with the holiday week, I don't know if my mods were paying as much attention at the start of the stream, so stuff happens. We fix. Apologies. Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss as what to do next because I'm just waiting on these goals to accomplish so that I can start tearing down and building up new stuff. I gotta wait for them to finish before I can do much else. Unfortunately, that's how it be sometimes. Hurry up and wait. On the bright side, it should take 20 minutes. Not even 20 minutes to finish this guy. And then we should be set to go on the next milestone. This one. 20 minutes on this one. The rest of these is variable. Like this one will be done in the next 5. This one, probably the next hour. I don't even think, I hate to say it, but I don't even think I need more trains right now. I think I've maximized the use of most of the trains besides that one down here that's just hanging out. Ignore him. Welcome back in 12 Cubes. I fixed the audio. It's better now. 16 minutes. 16 minutes and this bad boy will be done because it's well over 500 per hour per minute. And as long as it's at 500 per minute or more, we'll be well on our way. Well on our way. That one picked up for a sec. I did not expect that. But maybe it's moving in pulses. I will say once train delivery is a thing, all of this will go away just because of the nature of train delivery being so much cleaner and faster and easier to do. Because as you've seen me have to mess with, well, but train, you are right, Haps. I will be inducting more, it's just we have all the resources here right now. What am I going to do? Build a train that travels 3 blocks back and forth? That's dumb. We replaced all of our... Ooh, okay. Sorry. We replaced all of our long tracks and all of our long stretch distances with train. Now we need to wait for the opportunity that requires more of that stuff, which we just haven't had. You know what? I'm going to keep some of this, and I'm just going to delete this section. I realized I'm going to need that when I want to mix everything into the white. Because turquoise won't require it, but white will. We'll set up our mixing plant here. And then I'm just going to run pipes into all 3 sides that I left exposed. Like that. Like that. Ooh, this is going to get a little bit tricky. I know I could probably find a way to do this better, but it works. Or does it? Gotta snake it through everything. But hey, I got it to work, right? That's the important part. There we go. Spaghetti time. So we've got all the dye colors there then that we can work with, and that way we can set this up however we want. And did I already confuse this? Oh, we only need turquoise here, so I don't need this, actually. There's definitely a way I could have done this cleaner. I don't care. I don't care. I'll probably have to replace it all in the long term anyways with something more permanent and nicer. But that gives me something to do next stream when we do this, so... Not worried about it. I'll plan ahead a little bit. Be a little bit preemptive about it. You nearly got that done. Nearly got that done. We're within the last 1,000 of these 3. And this one's just crawling along. I'm going to drain the system of all the remaining red by just sending these all to the core. Dump them off. They won't do anything for me, but they won't do anything bad either, so it's a good opportunity to just purge the system of all of the remaining red dye. I think it won't even, though. Are these like full or something? Not full enough. They're not full enough. 5 liters, 8 liters, 4 liters, 5 liters, 5 liters. Yep. I'm assuming they need 10 to go. Looks like it. Looks like they need 10 liters per... Yep. Liters per item. Buildings per full belt. Oh, these are nice. Good to know those stats. Buildings per full belt. I don't believe that. With equal upgrades. Are my upgrades equal? Nope. Not at all. I'm aware I have points, game. Stop trying to make me use them. I'm saving them so I can get the stacker upgrade. The stacker is important. So excited for that to be gone and done. That one was a pain. All the way through, it was a pain. And I will be so excited to strip back so much infrastructure once it's gone. Free up so much space for new stuff. We're at the halfway marker for the stream roughly too, so I'm going to take the opportunity that if you guys are liking what you're seeing and you enjoy the channel, what have you, right down below is that like, right next to it is the subscribe button. If you could hit both of those, it tells YouTube that we're doing good stuff over here. It's a small channel and it really helps out. Everything goes into the hole. Where the hole goes, nobody knows. Because you see, it just beams straight down and it's gone. What's the infrastructure down there? Couldn't tell you. But the beam just goes straight down. Into an even bigger vortex, I guess? Are we doing all this work and firing everything into a black hole? Are we just destroying everything after we make it? Come on, game prompts. Give me something to work with. I just had the dumbest idea. What if I tried to play one of these games with another factory gamer, somebody who plays these like me, but we only had one set of controls for the game? Would that be entertaining to watch? I feel like I would lose my mind. But it would also make moments like these more workable. Because then we'd just be able to banter. The thought. So I'm genuinely just waiting on these tasks to finish at this point. I've optimized everything. Chaos but funny, yeah. I mean, we could also do it with somebody who's completely unfamiliar with factory. Then give me high blood pressure. That would be a great way to raise my blood pressure. No, turn it to the right. No, to the right. No, to the right. No, to the right. Turn it to the right. It goes zoom, but I wish it would zoom faster. I'm prepping stuff now. Setting it up so I can just hook it in and it'll be ready to roll. Ready to rock. Unnecessary, so we'll get rid. Oh no. This instead. Yeah, that'll work. Wait, no, can't do it like that. Gotta do it the other way. There's gotta be 50. No, there's not 50 on these belts, is there? No, there's like 10. I gotta wait for it to fully pass through then. What's taking this so long? Is it just the... I'm pulling from the wrong elevation. Wait, no. I'm pulling from the right elevation. There's just extra on that one. Okay. We'll siphon off the extras to make this go a little bit faster for a sec. There. On its way again, working. Fantastic. And we're 1 minute away from unlocking milestone 7. Good, good. Milestone completed. There we go. There we go. New tasks. Yay. Now we've got the color mixer here. Gonna create big stockpiles. Be a little bit asymmetrical, but it should be fine. I think it'll be fine. We'll merge them together so that they actually have equal coverage. Cool. Okay. And there we go. Now we're mixing turquoise. Turquoise is going into the buckets. As the buckets fill, we're getting somewhere. Beautiful. Damn. Okay. That'll be fine. Oh, we got red going in now. That'll paint them all. That'll get them on top, and they'll be good to go. We've already got that color feeding in now. Now it's time to work on the next one. First things first, I'm going to design a smaller version of this that makes a little bit more logical sense. Start with what we already had. We're going to shrink it. There's a lot of dead space on that platform, a lot of unused space. There's our yellow. Gonna grab this blueprint again because that painting blueprint is arguably the most used. Out of any blueprint we use, that's probably our most used. Going to adjust so that we have some space to work with when we need to mix the white instead. Like that. There we go. We have the third layer, right? I'm pretty sure we unlocked that. Let me see. Yeah, we did. Using that, we can hook into the existing belt infrastructure over here to send this to the core. Because this already goes all the way down to the core. Wait, no, it doesn't. We can fix that, though. We just create an overpass. Like so. And this will allow them to just fly straight over this nonsense. And we've already got receivers for it. Good. So we're good to go then. Eventually we'll have to mix white and then convert that one over, but that's neither here nor there. That's a different conversation for a different time. We've got everything feeding in, and that's the important part. Now, while it is a rarity on stream, I actually do need to go refill my water, so I will be back in just a moment, folks. Enjoy the vortex. Look at it go. Woo! Zooms. Jingles, keys. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingle, 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 jingle. I will return. Back in action. Gotta hydrate before I dehydrate, you know? I'd be yapping way too much not to. Right, so what's wrong here? Because we should have these guys coming down, and we don't. Why is that? The wrong elevation, isn't it? Ah, it's the wrong elevation. Put an adjustment here. Oh, we can... I didn't realize we could put stuff down there. Okay. Guess that doesn't make sense as its own layer, but... There we go. That'll fix that. We're operator level 16 now. Oh, it gave us a percentile. We're in the top 50% worldwide on this save. Nice. Nice! I think I mentioned this in one of the earlier streams. Daki got into the single digits in the worldwide percentiles. I think it was like top 7, top 6, something like that. He went mad on one of his saves and used the train transport to just crazy boost his operator level. It was insane. Because I picked this game up last spring, And it was outside the rotation for a couple of months. So I was playing it and I was not doing video content. I was not doing anything. And I got, I think it was, let's say, like 25th, 24th percentile, something like that. Like a good number, fair number. I was operator rank 30, 40 something, I think. But he went insano mode. He went, I showed him the game. He fell in love with it and he just went insano mode on it. And he got so far. Hey, we finally have enough points now. Finally. Stacking speed maxed. Perfect. Now, there's a reason I was staying in that menu, though. It's because in less than 2 minutes, this is going to go off. So we might as well just collect it when it pops up. Then next, we've got to do this achievement, or this milestone. Not a milestone, task. It's a task. There's the task unlock. You know what? We'll go do that one first. Makes it easier to see what I'm looking at. That. And then we got a pin one more time. Wow. How original. Control X. Pin pushers. Triple pin. It is done. We've got a lot of green. I think we should double our production here. We're sucking a lot of it, and we don't have a lot of production for it, so might as well just double it. There. Twice the green going through the system. I think that's our sole source of green, right? Yeah, it is. Yeah, doubling that would probably be smart, considering how much more I've taken. Well, this just got cut, and it's just been working fine with the existing stuff. But because of how... Oh, it's because I don't care about this. Okay, we can just end it. Get rid of all this spaghetti. No, we can't. It's not done yet. It's got 800 left. What am I talking about? Clean that up. There it goes. Going that going. Our operator level is 17. We got 1% off there. We got a whole nother 1,200 platforms as well from that. That's pretty whack. If only there was anything out here I wanted. If only there was a shape out here that I actually wanted. Because I don't see anything. Like, this yellow corner here and this yellow corner here is kind of neat. But that's not long term. It's just neat. Same for this yellow half and half. Or should let me zoom out farther. This shape would be mildly useful, but not super. Next milestone. And there's ones that are closer that are same. This one's way bad. It's just as bad, arguably, actually. Just because of the way that the cutting and slicing works in the game mechanic. It's... I say, I don't know what to do necessarily. Like, I think we're just gonna have to merge stuff for the following. The following milestones are difficult enough that I don't think we're going to find the resources no matter how hard we hunt. We're not going to find them raw. We're going to have to blend everything, and we're going to have to custom cut a bunch of shapes and stuff into unique styles and unique combinations. Because the issue with this shape is the fact that it doesn't have horizontal or vertical symmetry, which means that the minute you put it in a swapper, it'll start doing weird stuff. And then this shape needs to have one section of it pinned before the other section's put on. So this means that it's going to require a stacker, not a swapper, for that to work. At least effectively. This one's not so hard to accomplish. And then these are just annoying. These are just genuinely annoying. They're not going to be difficult. They'll just be irritating. See, this shape will be stupid. What upgrade does that unlock? It says it unlocks an upgrade. Oh, the shape multiplier, I bet. Bet you it's the shape multiplier. That would make sense. We'll save our points. If anything, we're going to speed up the painting. Probably be the next thing we want to focus on speeding up is painting. It's our linchpin right now. It's our bottleneck. I mean, the stackers will always be slow, but they're as fast as they can feasibly be now. So the next thing that's going to be in our way is going to be the painters. We're about done with these 2 midway milestones, though. These 2 for 8. So maybe we should start prepping up the stuff for that. What I'll do with this is I'm going to create a slicer that will slice them in half. And then I'm going to just change out the color here. I'll just mix the yellow with another color set, namely blue, to make next one. Where's the blue source? The blue source over here. I'll use this. It would cost the same amount of belts to move it all the way up there, and at least this gives us a dedicated line. I'm gonna make the assumption that there's probably 2,000. A long belt, but is it 2,000 guys long? No, probably 1,000. So we'll let it get up to 6,000, then we're gonna cut it and replace it. Get it making the yellow ones, and then we'll slice them in half after they've been painted. Because the painting machine doesn't care whether it's a half shape or a full shape. It takes the same amount of time to paint. So it makes more sense to paint the full shape and then slice it in half. Speaking of which, where are the slicers? Where's a slicer that I can copy? Is this one's close? I'll use it. I'll make the modification to make it work again. Or make it balanced, rather. It worked either way, but now it's balanced. Okay. What I'll do is I'll cut off the paint, let it purge of all of the paint in the system, and then we'll, once everything else is stopped, we won't delete any of the items this way. We delete a small fraction of paint. Is the blue still on its way? Yeah, the blue's still just moving. It's on its way. It'll get here eventually. Simple paint mixer. Saved for future use. I also just want to make sure that this doesn't come out as the black instead of the white. I don't know what causes that mix to take place, as we saw in the mixing menu, so I'm a little bit cautious. A little bit concerned, a little bit cautious that I might accidentally mess something up, completely inadvertently. A little bit shorter of a distance, but would have had to go through everything, so meh. I'm just checking to see if there was a better option for the blue dye, and I would say no. No, there wasn't. Not really. Not unless I wanted to travel through a bunch of pre-existing stuff and make the spaghetti worse. Which I don't. Really don't. I can't wait to destroy this spaghetti, because it's so bad at this point. But that's what happens in the last phase of those tasks, because I don't care enough to make it real nice and clean and high throughput, because as soon as the task is over, there's no point in keeping it. Hey, that worked. Awesome. Alright, we're gonna redivert this, that. change this thing's height. Alright, all the modifications have been made. Should be good to start as soon as... And this rotates them back to the same orientation, I hope. I hope! As soon as that blue dye shows up. It's so far away still. It's taking forever. Giving me deja vu. Alright, I should be able, with the existing framework, to at least do this secondary milestone, and then we do something long-term permanent for the next. We're gonna have to move things around and make a long-term permanent setup, but this will be the temporary fix for now. So what I need to do is I need to take half of these and put them into pin pushers. Now these are all pinned. These other ones are going to go into rotators because then it will reduce the time difference between the two of them. You need to rotate these 180 degrees. Now we need to we'll use stackers then. We did just get them upgraded after all, so hopefully they'll be enough. I'm lost in the sauce here real quick. Give me a second. I'm trying to make sure this is all as optimized as it can feasibly be. Got completely lost in thought. I do apologize, chat. Trying to make sure that this is not only clean and good looking, because I might end up reusing this blueprint, also that it does... Oh, no. Bad anchor. Bad anchor. There we go. Does everything it's supposed to as efficiently as it can. Oh, there's another belt line there. Did I get it? I think I got it. Haha! Beautiful! Wonderful! And we got 2 different milestones while we were cooking up all that stuff. Nice! Alright, everything's progressing as it should now. We're still waiting on this one, and that's driving me insane with how slow it's going. I just want it to be over so I can delete that junk. But hey, at least these are going fairly quickly. It doesn't look like any of these lines are slowing down much, which is good. As long as they continually keep on feeding out their outputs, we should move along at a pretty decent clip. Let's see our stats. Nearly 300 of them, I'll take that. And that one's doubled. Because when you slice something right at the end of the process, you get pretty much double the output. I could probably make it go faster if I wanted to dedicate more belts to the process. I don't, though. But I don't. On the bright side, blending this with this should be pretty easy. It's going to require a bunch of moving around of parts and what have you, but it should be pretty easy to actually accomplish it. We've got most of the colors and everything we already need around here, so I'll probably just shift this up there, and then find a new source of circle. Some new source of circle. There's a circle. We'll probably just use that. With the speed at which this is going, I'll probably be able to set up all the infrastructure for this before this finishes. That being said, we might end up just chilling on stream now, doing a couple of smaller tasks, and then calling it. Couldn't tell you exactly when. But we always do 2 to 3 hours when we're past the 2-hour mark. And like I said, I'm tired today. I got a lot of things to do this week. I apologize, chat. I do promise though that the videos coming out this Monday will be solid. And then December is always compilation month. So my Friday videos this month will be a bunch of compilations of some of the funniest moments made this year. We do that partially because I want to reflect on the year, partially because I want some time to work on bigger projects coming out next year, and partially because this is the month where I sit down and do a reflection on what worked this year, what didn't, and what I can do better for you guys next year. Finally, it's done. Thank the maker. Okay, great. Now we can get rid of this garbage. Finally, we can get rid of this garbaggio that I don't want and don't want anywhere near any of the other stuff. Because now I can get rid of all this too and clean this up finally. I hated how this ended up looking. Ugh. Gross. Why did I do that? I don't need to do that. I can do this. I can do this. Ta-da! There we go. So much cleaner without that garbage filling in that gap. Thank you. Thank you, game. I hated it. I'm so happy it's gone. And then as for this, we've got ourselves working. It's working. I'm not gonna look at it. It ain't broke, don't fix it. It has slowed down a tick though. But I'm not surprised. It's the temporary fix anyways. Never expected it to be perfect. Why would it be? What I might end up doing for the final design, what I should probably do for the final design actually, is I should start with full circles and paint them and then slice them. Move this around in the ordering for the actual final results. So that it actually it'll go so much faster that way. It'll go so much faster. Gonna see if we can get one more milestone unlocked before we call it for today. We might be able to accomplish one of those small tasks on the side at the very least. I'm happy we got the big milestone done and we got through the majority of the following one. Because last time we got through all of this and then got to this. This time we got through all of this and got to this and got through half of it. So we're still at a pretty decent clip. Honestly, maybe 2-3 streams more, we might see the end of the game. Depending on how... Oh, never mind. That says 90k. It says 90 with a 90. You know, it might be more than 2 streams, but we'll still be able to pull it off. Yeah, this last one was, what, 35k? Now it's 45, then it goes straight up to 60, and then it ratchets to 90. Just a few more streams, though. Be cool to see the end of this game, that's for sure. Yeah, this will be done really quick. You know what? I'll start tapping that stuff in preparation. First... There you are. Come here, circle. We'll start grabbing these. So we'll start with painting the circles. Like I said, we're gonna just smarter, not harder this time. So that'll make teal circles. Then we gotta cut them in half, slice them up. Actually, no, we won't copy that one. We'll copy this one, because this one is actually correct. Cool. So that'll make half circles of teal. Then what I'm going to do is duplicate this and make 2 of them. Now, I've got one sneaky little question. What happens if I stack something on top of the coriant orientation? If I were to just take a simple shape stacker, right? Large stacker 1, let's say, right? Let's grab a stacker blueprint then. Those are unique. These are unique structures down here, over here. So let's try... Let's try this. Standard stacking reg, right? Don't even remember. F. Yes, standard stacking reg. If we did this, and we did this, we split them off from here, would this create, looking for? Like that. And then we get them back up to the elevation 3 that we were delivering the other stuff at, so that we can just piggyback off the existing lines. Like so. But of course, we make them nice and clean. Like that. Can't add a tank into that section of the system, but that'll be fine. I'm going to finish this one and just make sure that this goal works. As long as this all works, I'll consider today have been a stellar success. Just going to take an eternity for these to catch up with us. Yep. Far along are we right now? Halfway? Not even. Not even. They'll still get where they gotta go, though. I'm hoping that the increase in number of machines here fixes the bottleneck that was happening. I know this down here was bottlenecking bad. I think that had more to do with the fact that this was being done after they were sliced, though, more than anything else. System might also not be producing enough paint. We might need a more efficient paint production system. Larger throughputs. More. More. Are they? Come on, circles. Get here. Get to the corner. Oh, they are at the corner. Good. Good. Everybody enjoy circle watching simulator. That's all we're doing right now is just waiting for this to get to the test batch to see if the machinery works or not. Because I want to be there if it doesn't work so that I can make it stop producing useless garbage. So close. Just get there. Just get there. I know that a train would have worked just as effectively for this. I know. I guess I just couldn't be bothered. Timing's actually going to line up pretty nicely, though. This is going to be just about done. And I'll be able to delete these two platforms. Trains are trainable. Yes! Yes, they are. Nice pun. Nice pun. Good one. And there it is. Accomplished. Now we just gotta wait on these little things. Make the rest of the trip down. This is one of those times where I wish I had a playable character in this kind of world, like they have in, say, Dyson Sphere Program, Factorio, all those other ones where you could pick up the items into your inventory and just feed them into the machine, at least to experiment. And I get why they don't do that, because then it would be feasibly possible to manually create all of this stuff. But also, you just make it incredibly slow. That's your trade-off. Like, if you wanted to finish some of the games, like Factorio, what have you, by manually crafting everything, you'd be playing from now until, you know, the end of your natural life, and you wouldn't be done. Which on its own is kind of impressive when you think about it. They did the math good enough to figure out how to balance that stuff. And it's cool that they did, because obviously the people playing it are doing the math to figure out if they can cheese it. But instead we just sit here and wait for the conveyor belt to deliver what we want. It's so almost there, though. It's so close. It's so close. Hey, we got another one of these done. Nice. So now we need to stack that on top of a square. We can do that. That's fine. That's done. Okay. That's done down here. We just add another stacker to this machinery set then. That's all we have to do. And a source of squares. Oh, source of squares. You just got rid of one, but we'll just put it back in a slightly different position for a completely different purpose. It'll be fine. Why are you trying to merge with this thing? Stop it. Literally one of 2 items in the entire underground that you can merge with, and you're trying so hard. That'll work. You know what? I'll actually try this smarter way. No, that results in that on the bottom, but we can't have that. We just got to adjust this then a little bit. Is this jump necessary? No. But I don't want to reorganize everything to the level that would be necessary to make this work without it. Instead, we'll just do that. Hey, it works. Fancy that. Imagine that. And then we just put the shape miner on here. Alright, so is this working? Will it work? We've got circles going in. And then these are at the wrong elevation to run through. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We can fix that. We adapted on the other side, but not on this side. Because these are all operating, yep, at the lower levels. And then it gets boosted back up down here. Perfect. So let's see. Wondering what that icon. And then it can't predict what it's going to make here. Interesting. I wonder what happens when you drop them on top. About to find out. You can get rid of the pinning machine down here now. Cool. Clean that all up. Nice and neat. How does this have... Interesting. Oh, wait. That makes sense. Okay. Alrighty, tidy. Let's see here. Come on. Oh, wrong elevation. That's why I can't project. Fix the elevation issue. Alright, now we feed that in. See what this does. Oh no, it puts down the shape of this. Okay. Okay. Experiment failed. It's gonna need to be reorganized and resorted. Disappointing. Need to get underneath. Alright. Well, that's something I'm going to leave for next time, though, honestly. We got more than far enough as it is. We got more than far enough for today. We have fed the portal so much that I will call it more than a win. So, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, like I said earlier, right down below, that like, that subscribe button right next to it really helps out the algorithm, helps out us being a small channel on the big ocean of YouTube. Appreciate y'all. New video coming out tomorrow, another video coming out on Friday. I will be back again with another Voted On stream next Sunday. So, I hope you all have a great one, and I will see you all later. Bye!